Well, hi everyone, it's Tiffany from Daisy Farm Crafts, and today I have just a quick tutorial for you for this back loop mesh stitch hat. Oh my gosh, you guys, why have I never used the back loop for mesh stitch? You know how mesh stitch is one of my favorites. It's just the simple single crochet chain one combo. And when you work in the back loop, look at these beautiful little lines that you get. I'm loving it in Bernat Forever Fleece. So cool, so fun to work with. I think these are gonna make really good Christmas gifts for all my girls. Lots of options for size for these. These can be, you can make them a little bit longer and roll them up, have the brim type look as a beanie, or I'm making one that's even just a little bit shorter so you don't roll it up. You'll just tie it together at the top. This is the basic construction that we're going to go through. So I do have you do some slip stitches up here. Just because this yarn is a little bit bulky, you want to decrease the bulk here at the top so you don't have too much to gather in there. So really, really simple hat construction. We'll go through the whole thing. I personally love getting these pom-poms that have the elastics on the end. I've secured it with a button underneath. Let's get started. Super simple, super fun. Oh, each hat, I used one skein. I had this much left over. So, and this is the hat that has the brim. So I'm just gonna say you'll probably use one and you'll have some left over. Bernat Forever Fleece. All right, I did use the hook 9mm recommended. So, well, let's get started. To begin this hat, you want to chain 35. Now, this is a number that can be completely adjustable. You just really want an odd number. And so this allows for about a 2-inch brim to be folded up if you don't like that look, and if you just want more like a beanie, then adjust the pattern, but just whatever you do, just make sure it's an odd number. So for the pattern, I chained 35, and for the beanie pattern, I chained 25. So you can make this children's size. What you basically want to do is measure from your forehead to back to the crown of your head, and however many inches that is, you're going to crochet an odd number to that inches if it's a beanie. If you want to fold up the brim, add 2 inches. If you want a thicker brim, add 3 inches. So it's completely flexible. But here is the gist of the pattern. Okay, so I have an odd number of stitches. We are going to begin with 3 slip stitches right here at the first. Work into the second chain from the hook, go under that top loop, pull back through and pull through the loop. That's a slip stitch. We're going to make 3 of these. This will be the top of our hat. Now we will begin the mesh stitch, and that begins with a single crochet. Then we'll chain 1. We will skip the next chain and single crochet into the next chain. Chain 1, skip 1, single crochet. Now, when we get to the bottom of the hat, if you've used an odd number, we should have 1 chain left. So at the bottom here, we will, even though we ended with a single crochet, we will work an extra single crochet. This will help for the brim of the hat to have a nice consistent look across the bottom. Chain 1 and turn your work. All right, let's work this first row. Now, always the first stitch here down at the bottom of the hat, this is where the tail is, this will be the brim. We're going to work underneath both of the V's and work a single crochet. Now, in the first single crochet of the mesh stitch, we want to work into the back loop. This is, if it's facing us, it's the one furthest away from us. So if you turn the chain and look straight down on it, I'm working into the back loop. This will give us that pretty little ridge. Now, chain 1, skip the chain from the row below, and we're going to work into the back loop of that single crochet. And repeat that. So you kind of can tell this is the chain, this is the stitch. Work into the back loop. Okay, just worked that last single crochet that ended the mesh stitch sequence, and I'm here to my final 3 slip stitches. And in the slip stitches, I want to work again into the back loop to keep these pretty loose and reach down here. Grab that last back loop right there. Chain 1, turn our work, and you've got the pattern. So when we're working from this end, we're gonna at first work the 3 slip stitches. Now, if at any point these stitches are really hard to tell, like it's really hard to see this first stitch of the round that you worked, mark it. You know, if you get back to the end and you're confused where to work it, just mark it right there. If you're confused about seeing this first single crochet of the mesh stitch, go ahead and mark that stitch. And that way you'll know when you come back, that's the last single crochet before the slip stitches right there. But what you'll find as you keep working this back loop mesh stitch, you get this pretty little braid that runs down the hat, and I just loved the look of it. Okay, so just remember that the only thing is the 2 single crochets in a row down here at the bottom of the hat, and always work the last single crochet underneath those 2 loops. So let me show you on the hat I've been working on what it's going to look like. So here's all my slip stitches at the top. It kind of helps to pull that in a little bit. Here's all the pretty little ridges. I just loved that look. And this is why I'm having you just work underneath both loops on the bottom here. I think that just gives us this nice line to make it look really finished. Now this one is long enough that I'm allowing for it to be folded up. I've made one in this color, and this is a little bit shorter, and this is just a beanie size. So just a little bit shorter. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to sew this up. I like ending the hat on a down here at the bottom so that we can tie off and have a really long tail we're going to be sewing the two sides together, and then we're going to gather in the top. So give yourself pretty long tail. Now you can pull this through. That essentially ties off the hat. And we are going to use a tapestry needle. Really big eye. This is a really big one, because this yarn is so thick. All right, and what I like to do is try to make the seam as invisible as possible. So I just came across to the stitch that matches across, and I am going to go ahead and go underneath this, I guess it would be the back loop maybe that's facing you, and then underneath both loops of that starting chain. And I'll go around and around and sew it up the side. Okay, I'll meet you when we get back to up here. And I will say, if you happen to know, or you're a better seamstress than I am, and you know a better way to just really get that seam hidden, go for it. But this worked pretty good. It's a little bit off center, but I think it looks pretty good disguised. Okay, so we're here at the top. And now all I like to do is just weave in and out of the stitches here. And we're going to pull this top in. So I'm just okay, I've gone around one time and pulled it pretty tight, and then I like to go ahead and go around another time just to make it, oops, wrong end, a little bit extra secure. That kind of helps get it closed just a little bit more. Now, once you have it all seamed up together, you can be done if you'd like. Or this is what I like to do. I like to buy these pom-poms at either Walmart or Michael's that have an elastic on them. And I get a button that you can make sure your hook, kind of get one with thick, bigger holes, because this yarn is so thick. And we are going to sew a button and I am sewing this button right on the underside of the hat. And then that way, all you have to do, I'll just do this a couple times. Just get this secured on there. It's good. I'll weave it in and tie a knot, but just for time, I usually just get a smaller crochet hook, stick it up just past this button, up back through the hole here, grab the elastic, pull it down through the hole. Okay, did I get that right in the middle? Oh, there we go. Pull it down through, and then you can just wrap it around the button a couple times. And when you go to wash the hat, you can take the pom-pom off. and it just is a really easy way to get the hat finished off. So anyway, I just think it's so cute. So easy. Loved using this stitch. Oh gosh, it's so beautiful. So here we go. That's what this one looks like. So cute. And I've got a few more to finish up. Anyway, loved using the Forever Fleece for this. So thank you so much for stopping by. Good luck on making your hat. Hopefully it goes really well for you. I've just really enjoyed the look of the back loop mesh stitch. All right, have a good day.